the founder and chairman at Affle India, joining in at the show right now. Anuj, hi, good morning. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning.
Help us understand what this new 2.0 consumer platform is all about.
Well, thank you for having me on your show, first of all. And Affle 2.0 is fundamentally a strategy that we launched for the decade that we are in right now. And we launched it last year, actually in 2020. It will stay valid for the decade ahead. And as part of that, our consumer platform propositions as an end-to-end consumer platform is essentially looking at helping the advertisers across key industry verticals, across emerging markets anchored out of India, to maximize their lifetime value or return on investment with the consumers, and helping them to reach new users, repeat users, helping them to drive online conversions from mobile devices and connected devices, as well as helping to maximize footfalls into their offline presence as well. So we are providing end-to-end proposition for so many advertiser verticals with the consumer platform services that we deliver to them.
Interesting. So what's the revenue potential? Because it indeed seems like the next step and the next logical one at that. But what about the monies that it's going to bring on the table for you?
You can see the track record of our company has always shown that we are absolutely growth-focused, growth-oriented organization. And the industry that we are in itself is growing so fast. I mean, the consumer adoption of digital clearly is has gone up significantly with the COVID pandemic, and it's going to stay that way for next many years to come. And consequently, the advertiser spending is disproportionately shifting to digital, especially in emerging markets where it's still undercalibrated. If you look at developed markets, already more than 50% of total ad spend go to digital. But if you look at India or other emerging markets in the world, then it ranges between 20% to 30% of the total ad spends going to digital, and that's going to change. In the next few years, you're going to see 50% of ad spends, the total ads budgets going towards digital. So there's going to be massive growth potential, and it's a multi-year consistent trend of growth for our entire industry across emerging markets. And that's where Affle is anchored. So we hope to continue on our historical track record and hopefully continue to deliver great growth going forward as well.
Good morning, Anuj. This is Nentaram. So, at the recent analyst day that you guys hosted, I believe you bowled them over with a kind of forward-looking commentary, the new shape that the company is taking. You've alluded a little bit to it. But, sub and substance, what's the clear message that you sent out to this to the analyst community?
Well, our message is very clear. There is no better team in our industry that you'll find under one organization. And I think the team at Affle is the leadership team at Affle, the key management team, is a team of connected tech entrepreneurs. We are techies. We are, strong track record of entrepreneurship. I've myself been a tech entrepreneur for 20 years. I have 3 other CEOs of different divisions of the company who are all, tech entrepreneurs and leaders for over 20 years. Our CTOs in the company. So it's such a strong team, and we were all together presenting to the investors yesterday for over 3 hours and taking questions. So I think it's the first time that the investors interacted with most of the leaders of the company in a way that they've never got an opportunity before. So I think that was very, very strong message that we are a team that one can bank on, and it's a global team of entrepreneurs and techies who are driving for long-term growth for Affle. And I think the message is clear that our products, our people, our patent portfolio, our profits, and our fundamentals of our business have never been stronger than they are today. So we are going to enter into 2022 with a lot of strength, and that makes us very optimistic and confident.
On a lighter note, as you're a techie, you do understand it. Techies are hard to come by these days. Even Elon Musk is taking to Twitter to talking about how he can help in hiring. What is that going to mean for your business as well as your margins? Because I do believe that, the analyst day, you gave some really solid commentary on margins too.
Well, we've always maintained we are a growth-minded company. I mean, the DNA of the company is growth-oriented, but at the same time, which is very rare to find in entrepreneurs of at least my generation, where we have always had a track record of sustainable, profitable growth with cash flows, supporting the fundamentals of the company. Very few tech platform internet companies you'd find which are so grounded in many years of delivering sustainable, profitable growth, which is capital efficient. And I think that's what we have sent as a strong message. So margins is, of course, one part of it, and it's a very fundamental part of it. But it has to be the right balance of driving growth with healthy margins, and then looking at the bottom line metrics, and of course being very equity efficient as well and capital efficient. So this is how you should look at Affle at any point in time.
Expansion.
Anuj, as I look at it,
Expansion and
your
future
global
plan.
business has
Expansion and
primarily
future
been
plan.
anchored within emerging markets. Looking forward and considering it's a decade-long strategy that you've put in place, what really is the plan? To grow more where you already are present, or to grow beyond the emerging markets geographies as well?
Sure. So the strategy that we have at Affle 2.0 is actually anchored on two V's. The first V is verticalization, where we are going deeper across industry verticals, across emerging markets, as well as entering into developed markets like North America, Europe, Japan, Korea, very selectively in certain verticals where we are very, very strong, and we believe we can dominate there in any market in the world. The second view of our strategy is vernacular, where we're going deeper with the consumer, hyper-local, hyper-personal, in the local language affinities. And there we are going deeper, especially in emerging markets like India. And you would see that India will have another 500 million connected devices in the next few years. And most of those new connected device users will have deep vernacular affinities. So you've got to communicate with them, engage with them within their multilingual, in our own sort of local languages. And so I think those strategies will keep us grounded in ensuring that we go deeper in India, from tier 2, tier 3 cities to even rural India, expand and establish market leadership in global emerging markets. And the verticalization strategy will take us in a very focused execution manner into developed markets as well. So, the goal is that in this decade ahead, we should aim to make sure that Affle impacts and reaches the experience of at least 10 billion connected devices. And there is massive growth that's going to happen there beyond mobile, connected homes, connected households, and the consumer journeys that go online and offline, almost like an omni-channel experience. So this is what we're excited about, and there is so much growth to unlock. Our products are already enabling us to serve some of these use cases already.
Anuj, since you understand this more than any of us, I'm very curious to know, what are your views on metaverse? Is that the reality we all are headed in for?
Well, I can tell you one thing, the next generation, my children, when they are going to be, 10 years older from where they are today, they're going to find this mobile device form factor of touch screen and needing to type and touch and look at it very cumbersome. I think there will be more unique form factors that will emerge, where we will be wearing technology gadgets a lot more. We may even have situations where, some of the technology will be embedded into our lifestyle, into a body. And these things might sound spooky today, but I think 5 to 10 years from now, that will seem like a no-brainer. And when that happens, you're going to see more of AR and VR technologies, and the lines will blur between what you see as the reality and the virtual reality, or the augmentation of the reality and mixing of the two together. One of the recent patents that we got is about gestures, how you can engage with technology. The human to machine engagement would happen with just subtle gestures. And this is a patent that's granted for Affle in the US Patent Office. So you can see where we're headed. We are definitely thinking forward and planning and preparing well for that scenario to happen.
I happened to be chatting with Polygon's co-founder as well as Gautam Chugani of Bernstein just yesterday. It's an interview we will be playing here. But what they told us was, and what they're of the view, that 70% of our time, even when we are maybe a decade older, will go in the metaverse. So can I ask you how Affle 2.0 is gearing up for that. I know Aisha touched upon it, but would love to know if there's anything specific. Considering we can now buy cars, digital land, geotag our houses as of